Hello? Oh, my mic was on. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys can hear me and my music is not too loud. So, also got a tad bit too late. Q44, and welcome to the stream. Let's just switch this up. I'm gonna sketch a character sheet today. Just got permission to stream this, and I may try to animate later something. And let's take a chill pill and just sketch for a bit. Hello! Welcome, you guys. Now, I need to think of a pose first. So. Mm-hmm. I may try to brainstorm first. Who knows? Let's try the top view. Fucking kids are screaming. How you doing? I'm doing great. I'm a little tired because oh my god, I slept too late yesterday, last night. It was already 12 a.m. last time. I was playing some games on my phone and I got too addicted again. Or I got too into the zone. I wasn't able to notice the time then. It was already getting too late, so I did get some 8 hours of sleep, but it does take some readjusting to know to wake up in a particular time that you're not used to. Because I'm used to waking up at 7 or 8 a.m. I woke up at 9. And even if. And that's really not a huge difference, but still, it takes some readjusting to do. But I'm doing good. I'm just a little late, that's all. And that's okay. Lemon, hello! Welcome to the stream. I'm just gonna sketch today and probably animate something later. Because I need to do some in-betweens. Last time I did some, yeah, the process for this. So, and first I'm gonna do this one, which is a character sheet. That's good. Yeah, the thing that I don't want to happen is wake up at around 10 a.m. 10 a.m. or 11. That's where it's like, yeah, this day is over. I'd rather not do anything at all. That's the one I'm wanting to avoid. I mean, compared to me and my friends, they sleep much more later than I do. Go around 4 or something. But that's way too much for me. It's like 12:50 a.m. Really? Oh yeah, I didn't like sleep around 1. Best I can do is 1 o'clock. 1 a.m. of sleep time. Any more than that, it's already the next day. I'd rather not do anything at all anymore. And try my best to like fix the sleep schedule as much as I can. Let's make these arms or shoulders a bit more low. They're looking too thick. This might take a while because I don't have a clear picture on my head just yet. So I'm gonna just scribble around for a while. So not your typical speed run. Speed running drawing today. But man, being able to draw so fast is like will always be a dream come true. But we know that's like, I mean it's possible, but the quality isn't always the same. Or consistent to say the least. I've been doing a lot of this kind of shots. Top view shot of when a character is standing up. And I just really hate this straight line compared to, you know, a front view of a character standing up. I just do not want to draw something like that at all. Some people might view that easier, but to me this is much easier. A very simple pose can like lead you to be more of a perfectionist, and I do not want that. Exactly, like I can stay up past 1 a.m. Yeah, 1 a.m. and beyond is just too late. It's too late. Yeah, I'll pass out also. Not necessarily I'll pass out, but I know for sure that my energy is so low, I tend to do reckless stuff. And I've been playing yesterday, right? And I do notice that I'm like playing way worse than I used to. I mean, I know it's been a while since I played, but it was so bad. I was just dying on the game way too often. I'm like being a burden to the team, and I'm like, yeah, this is what happens when I stay up too late. I just do the most reckless of stuff. Hola Brita. Hello Mary. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, it's Ula Brita. Brita. I read that wrong. I butchered it. Man, that sounds familiar now. I think I heard it from Pewds. That term. Ula Brita. It's been a while since I watched Pewds. My days of being a PewDiePie fan. We do this. And much more lower. I mean, I should be like going super loose on the gesture so I could speed up a bit, but kind of want to, polish it a bit so I would have less time to do polishing. So I'm polishing as I go. What I hate about this process though is it does leave a significant amount of dust. Like how much you would erase in real life. PewDiePie reference, yeah, Ulubrita. Which game were you talking about? It's Wild Rift. It's basically League of Legends, but on your cell phone. Maria, hello. Welcome to the stream. I couldn't play League of Legends on the PC. It's so buggy, and I don't think that there's that many players anymore when it comes to PC. Here in the southeast, I think the popular game on the PC right now is probably Valorant. I'm not sure if there's any more, who plays MOBA or something like League of Legends here. Because what I know is people here much prefer Dota 2 instead of League, but Dota 2 is much more difficult. And the game is bugged. League of Legends. The game is bugged, so I couldn't play it. I'd rather play the mobile version, which people think sucks. But in all honesty, mobile gaming here on the southeast is much preferred compared to PC games, because everyone has it, so it's much more easier to play. Have you ever thought of making a Discord channel for art? Yes, but I have no fucking idea or no clue at all on how Discord works. I never used my Discord account either. And that could have been great because I could just hang out with you guys and probably give feedback and chat around on art basically. But I don't know shit, so maybe in the future when I actually have the time for it. But for now, no. That's we'll be holding that one for later. And I'm pretty much on other discords. I do have I do join other Discord channels. Mainly for art also. But I'm really inactive when it comes to Discord. I just don't know what to do there. And I don't even chat that much. I'm not really a talky person. Sometimes, depending on my mood and depending on the time that I have. Which is a shame. Could have been much more active. Do you have a perspective in mind while making this piece? It's either I always consider two ways. Top view, or, in a much more higher angle where the camera is placed a higher angle and the character is like viewed going below. Or the other one, which is the camera is down here and the character is, you see the character looking down on the camera. Those are the two perspectives I always consider. Is it something from above or is it something from below? Something I usually goes like that. I try not to overthink it, so that's why I only consider two ways. I think I need to make this character narrow because he's looking a bit chunky. And I also don't have a clearer image yet for this character on how will he be positioned. But right now that I made this, it's slowly coming along. Usually that's how my thought process goes. If I have a clear idea, I would just, scribble down without any thought and just copying what I picture in mind. But if I don't have a clear image in mind, I just scribble a lot. So it takes up a lot of time more compared to, having a clear thought. But scribbling also helps to, picture something in mind. So don't be afraid to sketch more. It's the best. It's the best process. It's a process I really enjoy overall. What is the thing that scares you the most when drawing? Okay. Having to go back. Like, if I ink this, the inking process is done, and then I colored it, it's basically rendered and finished. But suddenly, I'm not satisfied on how it's looking. And I only realize that when it's already around the tail end part of the process, and that's when I hate the most. And terrifies me a lot because what I like about illustrating, or what I usually do when illustrating, is just I just go forward and forward, never stopping. Without, and sometimes I just completely have an oversight or something, and then suddenly I don't like how the the illustrations is looking so far anymore, and I just suddenly have this sudden urge to change it, which requires me to go back again from the very beginning sometimes, which is super time consuming, and I hate it. Did you watch Spy X Family? Yep. It's only 2 episodes, right? As of now. So yeah, I did watch it. I haven't read the manga yet, so I think I might stick to the anime instead. But the manga's art is really, really good too. It's worth checking out. I haven't been watching a lot of anime to be honest, as of recent. I've been uh as of now I've been binging on stuff on Netflix, I guess. I mean, I only binge one, and I it's not even a binge. I just watched it with my friends, and that's All of Us Are Dead. And then right now, as of the current, I'm just watching some true crimes all over the internet. You guys are familiar with the JCS stuff, the YouTube channel. It's basically a YouTube channel that tackles about true crime and cases that are really, really fucked up. And I've been so in deep to that community. I just love how I guess documentary vibes they get. So yeah. For now, that's my that's what I've been watching. Do you ever get demotivated after making a piece that you feel like you can never make a better art piece? I don't think I ever get to think of it as that way. Because I know I can always make something better. I mean, not always, no, but it's not something that I completely restrict myself on. I just do what I want, basically. And it's something that I always, like, if I make something, for example, an artwork that I really like today, recently, that I've done, but after a few days, making a few artworks after that, the favoritism to it goes away. So the feelings goes away. And I always draw a lot, so progressively, over and over as I continue, things change. I discover new things, I discover new stuff that I like. So it's never really like, something I restrict myself. And I never get demotivated. The stuff that I get demotivated is like, probably in animation. Because right now I couldn't find a motivation or a sense of enjoyment, I guess. I couldn't find any enjoyment to it as of recently. But I still do it, regardless. It's something I can take away from my identity, I guess. But something that, think the thought of, oh, it's never gonna get better after this. I'd never have that mindset. Never. I guess I could just make another one. And I always change, so I never stick to one thing. What's your favorite cartoon that you can't stop until now? Probably Steven Universe. I used to love that franchise, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't. It was not very good. It burned itself to the ground. it was unfortunate. And I really understand why people are hating on it and shitting on it, basically. Because there was a time that Steven Universe was, you know, in high regards and honored as, like, as great as Gravity Falls, which everyone loves and everyone knows that it's great. And Steven Universe was one of those, right? It gives the feeling that it's gonna be great, just like Gravity Falls. But no, it burned itself to the ground with a lot of mishandling and all that stuff. There's a lot that happened, but it was unfortunate. It could have been great. Yeah, I like to watch that stuff before sleep. Not before sleep for me. I get terrified. I get paranoid. Amazing World Gumball. It's like my favorite show. Yeah, favorite show of all time, probably The Amazing World Gumball. The Amazing World Gumball just gives off. It reminds me of Chowder. It's so absurd. And Chowder is like an eye candy too. I really like how it looked. Oh, and the Misadventures of Flapjack. Was that right? Whatever. It's just called Flapjack. And the aesthetic of that show is so good. So good. But I haven't catched up to whatever that is showing today. I haven't watched cartoons that recently anymore. I don't think I've heard good ones just yet. There's probably stuff going on Netflix, but no, a movie's coming out, a new series, so hyped for it. Oh yeah, they are going to make a movie, I think, as a big finale. But I wasn't able to follow up on what happened next. Reference. It's not clear. Should I take a better pick? Flapjack is pure nightmare fuel. Yeah, that's why I love it. It's like one of those shows you just question, how is this for kids? It's so cool. I just love it. Like, it's so weird on its own, and the vibe that it gives off is so dirty. But at the same time, it's so amazing. And I love it. It's so absurd. It's kind of like Adventure Time, except Adventure Time's art style is cranked out to 100. All the textures and stuff. I think I fucked up the head. Who knows? Everyone's like 1 a.m. Good night, bro. Sleep well. And again, see as we continue Titans Go channel. Uh, Teen Titans Go is like a hit or miss. There are episodes that are real good. There are episodes that's a lot is Flapjack is better than a gender time. Flapjack is just built different. It will be like that. It's a whole new genre, and so. But I really do love those kind of shows where they just go so crazy on the art style. That's what I like about Chowder and The Amazing World of Gumball. I mean, old shows back then too were also like just have their own unique style to it, and I love that. And now it's just flat. Everything is flat, and it's unfortunate that 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 is the style that we are going through. I mean, yeah, it makes sense because it's much more cheaper to produce and faster. But at the same time, it's just come on. It's not even trying anymore. And that's why people are so enraged with new cartoons. I'm like, they're always like, oh, it's the Cal art style. Ugh. The Cal art style is taking over. I should make this head smaller. It's too big. Maybe thinner. And check out the proportions. I mean, personally, I really do not vibe with the Cal art style. It's usually the characters are really drawn simple, right? And where they go off artistically is the backgrounds. Like you have these simple looking characters, and then the background is just like a work of art. That's what I realized when I watched Gravity Falls. The characters are good, well designed to be honest, but when I look at their backgrounds, you wouldn't expect that style would have like goofy looking characters or simplified ones, cartoony. But that makes sense. It's a cartoon, so. My childhood was DuckTales. Bro, you're so young if DuckTales was your. Oh, wait, are we talking about the reboot or the really DuckTales back then? Because I haven't followed that. Charlie was hilarious, especially that time when he ate a haunted chicken or turkey. Yeah, which DuckTales? Because there's an old DuckTales, I think. The Western animation are becoming so commercial like lately. I personally don't like it. Yeah, I don't think anyone did. It was so bland. They're always bland looking. I mean, there are like studios that are trying to like, keep up and at least make it look artistically extra. But they have no choice to, go with that style because it's the trend and became the standard, unfortunately. Trends always are like the set. They're the one who sets the standards, unfortunately. Instead of your, creative endeavors. The standards became the trend. And that's unfortunate. Which hasn't which really shouldn't be the way. Because if you have one style for everything, it becomes boring. That's why you can see it on 3D animation a lot. Because everything looks like gives up boss baby vibes, you know? Even if it's Disney. And don't get me wrong, animation on Disney is legit good and Pixar. But at the same time, it's getting old how they rendered and how they stylized the art. It's becoming generic, basically. And when people witness Arcane, I'm gonna talk about Arcane again because, come on, Arcane and Spider-Verse? Spider-Man Welcome to the Spider-Verse became, broke that cycle of, being looking generic and stuff. And actually exploring new techniques with 3D animation, which should be the standard and the staple of it all. But it's unfortunate. We'll be getting, like, what? Some Trolls movie, some Boss Baby movies, and all that stuff. And it's unfortunate. The illumination of the 3D industry. Like, you guys are familiar with Megamind? I cannot believe to myself that I watched Despicable Me instead of Megamind. I have so many regrets. I'm not usually, a big or a huge fan of DreamWorks, but don't get me wrong, once they make something really good, it's really good. Like, come on, look at Shrek. Shrek is basically immortalized to the internet and will remain as iconic as ever. That's Thundercats and the new Aquaman show in a nutshell. The character designs are crap, but the background is either decent or excellent. The backgrounds are hit or miss. It's either the department they fuck up the budget and give nothing at all, or pour in all of their budgets and make it actually look good. Bring the effort to make it look good, at least. I think Chowder has the poor wall breaks. It's Chowder. They're known for that. What are we drawing? Love your work. I'm just gonna make a character sheet. It's a commission. Megamind is underrated. Megamind is super underrated. And it's hilarious also. Yeah, shame it didn't go as well as Shrek. It's really and they basically called out the Nice Guys thing, which was so ahead of its time. I'm like, whoa. They predicted the future. And it was so underrated. It was unfortunate. I mean, the art style is generic, but I really love the story, and they basically executed it well, so that's why I love it, regardless. Also, Shrek 2 is the best Shrek. Is that wrong? I like this. I have no idea who am I drawing, actually. Titan is Arshlas Nice Guys. Yeah, he's basically that in subreddit. I'm like, could anyone be able to surpass such villainy? Come on. But yeah, Megamind was unfortunately lost to Despicable Me. Come on, they lost because of the minions. Are you kidding me? It was unfortunate. I think they got fucked because of the release date. Because Despicable Me also released similar or close to as the release date Megamind. But recently people are like discovering it, which is finally people are giving it credit. Instead of, Despicable Me, oh my god. I mean, Despicable Me, is it terrible? It's very commercial, not gonna lie, but it's generic at its best. Will people disagree? Probably. But I think that's quite rare to defend something like that. Hola Brita, thank you for coming! Do you have any drawing tips for getting better at drawing characters and figures? Look, if you want to improve at something, or anything, you need to put in the time to it. And if you are dealing with specifically with characters and figures, what do you want to improve when it comes to those, characters and figures? Are we talking about you want to improve their designs, or you want to improve your anatomy in general? I mean, I would say go for anatomy because it's just worth it. Because once you get the gist of anatomy and you got the fundamentals down, designing the character would be an easier process. Because you won't be dealing with the anatomy anymore. And anatomy is just, one of those fundamentals. You really can't escape from it. Especially if you're drawing figures and characters. I'm rendering this quite sooner than I expected. I should do the other shots, but never mind. But yeah, anatomy. And put in the time to it. Use a lot of references. And when you use references, build up memory. Like, don't just mindlessly copy it. Develop the memory for it. And muscle memory for it. So, once you are drawing, or don't want to rely on references, you can rely on your memory instead. That's all. Sing is as bad as the Minions and Despicable Me. I don't even watch that. Thank God I didn't watch that. Wait a minute, they're all Illumination. Man, Illumination is like the blue sky, the new blue sky of animation. And Blue Sky Animation Studios is like generic at best, but it has its moments, not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not super fond of it, but it has its moments. It's like the fast food of animation. But the most apart from 2D animation, stop motion animation is like, holy crap. Like, you can't do no wrong when it comes to stop motion. Like, it just automatically feels nostalgic and is a different vibe overall. I mean, not every stop motion apparently is good, but most of the time they're very, very good. And it's one of the hardest ones. Hardest medium. Compared to the others. I mean, all of them are hard. Because all of them take work. But stop motion is like one of the hardest. Because you're basically doing something real life. It's already like a live action of something. Except you're using puppets. That's why I find it harder. I would have did better releasing near a movie like The Incredibles. Incredibles 2 is not as good as the first one, and is mid-tier Pixar. I would say it's lower tier. Incredibles 2 is just disappointing. and it lived through a fuck ton of hype, and it didn't it didn't deliver, unfortunately. Definitely more anatomy for it. I have all the ideas, but just can't execute them as well as I want yet. Yeah, that's why I really, really tried to put in the time uh to get good at anatomy, so I could like have more control, or I can draw the bodies that I actually picture on my head. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to rely on references anymore. I used to uh use references a lot back then. That's for sure. In order to learn. But yeah, anatomy is anatomy is just worth it to learn, to be honest. I mean, you also want to put in a little bit of perspective on that also. And what I mean by perspective is learn how each body parts are in a different, angle. So at least you will have, you'll be dealing with perspective much easier. In any case, if you want to, put in more angles. Blue sky made the ugly baby the biggest sin. Oh my god. That was like the very beginning of like 3D animation, right? So everything is bound to look shit. But my god, it made the nightmare. I love stop motion films. Stop motion films is just high tier, automatically. Coraline is amazing. Coraline is built different. Period. I just like scary movies for kids. They just give off a different vibe. Like you guys know Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I love that. It's terrifying. Don't get me wrong. It has these moments where it's just pure nightmare fuel. But as you grow older, you gain appreciation to it, and they look up to. I like the creators of Courage. They look up to the kids. Like they should be conquering their fears, and the same goes for Coraline, right? That's what they said. Like, come on, kids are learning. Make them learn how to be brave, and I like that. That's very wholesome. I mean, it's terrifying, but very wholesome. So Mad and Kubo and the Two Strings did terrible in the box office. Really, did it not win an award, an animated award? That's unfortunate because stop motion are really good. So is I Love Dogs. I Love Dogs is so good. It's really, really good. It's just perfect. You guys know the sushi scene on the Island Dogs? God, that fucks up my tongue. Robots is Blue Sky's best movie. That's true. That's very true. I love robots. The world building, and they use Britney Spears songs, so it's bound to be great. Incredibles 2 is one of the films that just waited too long to bring back. Nowadays, these films be better received in different time instead of waiting for 10 plus years come back. I mean, they were like trying to follow the line from Syndrome, I think. 15 years too late, and yep, they definitely delivered. You're 15 years too late, and nobody liked it. Unfortunately. It was low tier. The animation is great, don't get me wrong. But the animation is carrying the shit out of the plot. Love the perspective is strong. Thank you. Paranorman and Frankenweenie. Also, stop motion stuff, horror in general. There's 9 times out of 10, it's likely to be directed by Tim Burton. I don't like Tim Burton's real live action stuff, but when it comes to stop motion, he really excels. Like it just works. And it's just good. And it doesn't fail. It's just as good. The mummy and the weird baby thing scared me a lot from Courage. Oh god. Any you guys know the harvest moon on Courage? It's a realistic looking face. White and black face. Black face or inked face, not black face. And it was just the most terrifying image ever. Like my god, you can make creepypastas out of that. John Dillinger is great. I'm not familiar with that. Paranormal was my core line too. The feel was so good and slightly mature in comedy. Yeah. Like horror and stop motion really goes well to each other. Stop motion has this nostalgic and you can really go eerie with its vibe. And I like that a lot. They just go so well together. Okay, I should do the undershots. Like a studios, the motion studio is actually doing badly ever since Kubo in the box office. Aw, that sucks. What the hell? Really? That's unfortunate because I like it was really like one of the well-known students when it comes to stop motion. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Courage is one of my favorite cartoons. Courage is so good. But yeah, that's unfortunate. That's the risk when it comes to making movies, unfortunately. There's bound to be failure. What was Kubo facing? Uh when it got released, who was it what movie was it, you know, going up against? I mean, it's not really a competition, but it kind of is at the end of the day, unfortunately. Oh, 9, yeah. I forgot about that. That that one was fucked up. that, I couldn't remember much, but I remember it was so dark. Like the concept is so dark. Like souls and all that stuff. Like it was so dark, and I watched it when I was young. And how greedy and terrifying the sceneries were was so cool. It was really fucked up. I couldn't understand that much back then, but all I know it was like, yo, this is kind of fucked up. Like souls transferring dead people. What dystopia? That's it was so many going on. But I don't remember that much. Yeah. Insane. It's real fucked up. That's what I remember from it. So many Sanzine and green monsters. The way the machines would take up the line of their dogs through their eyes and mouth. Yeah, it was so fucked up. Like, I think the I was able, I was only able to remember a bit about it. It's because I watched some reviews from it recently that were made recently. And yeah, I remember it was so fucked up. I'm like, yo, is this even for kids? I was so young back then too. I'm just like, everything is so detailed and the plot was like really dark. There was also like the other movie. What was it? Haunted House? Was it Haunted House? That also was so dark. Man, I just love this kind of movies where they really delve into topics that are like definitely not for kids, but does it anyways. Because parents, you know, they're naive and they think that animation are for kids. Now this is what we witness. Really, there was no other competition? Wow. Because I know Kubo at least won an award because yeah, it's fucking beautiful. It's well deserved. That's weird. That's really weird. And that's unfortunate. That's really unlucky. Damn. And it's like one of those movies that we haven't gotten in forever, right? Like nobody was doing stop motion anymore at that time. And they just came back out of nowhere and showed it to the people. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Really unlucky too. They could have killed it. I also realized some 3D animation are low-key looking like stop motion. Just like the Lego movie. Like, I low-key wish they stick with that. But it's kinda worrying also for the stop motion, industry. Because they're kinda turning into obsolete. But I know for sure it's not that. That's not how it goes. It will still be, up and running. Because it is a medium, it's not gonna die. It's more like, again, the industry is about what's trendy. And that's the standard. Oh yeah, Monster House. Let's go, Monster House. How the fat lady died was so messed up. Yeah, when I saw that as a kid, I was like, this is terrifying as shit, bro. I'm like, that's so fucked up. I really got afraid of concrete because of that. I'm like, getting buried alive and just like, that's fucking terrifying. And they showed the body, right? They showed her body. Like, sheesh. It was something. Man, I love those old movies so much. And the fact that we are getting Boss Babies instead of that, it's just, I just want to cry. Oh, it was a good horror classic, yeah. Video game. Oh shit, there was a video game? Did Leah's stop motion A Missing Link flop badly? Oh fuck, that's unfortunate. Missing Link didn't seem as appealing, just like the box trolls. Oh yeah, it is a hit and miss. Because sometimes the plot is just not that interesting. Again, it's getting carried by the animation, but the plot is just, it's a huge factor to people's, enjoyment. Oh, Kubo was facing Sausage Party and later on lost to it. Oh my god. I think I watched a few scenes from Sausage Party. I didn't bother to watch it whole. I'd rather watch the few scenes that I could get, which probably is impossible right now. It's probably flagged or banned or something, mainly because of its scenes. Oh, imagine losing to that, bro. God, must have felt the worst. It must be the worst feeling ever. Sheesh. Oh my god, that's so disgusting. Sausage Party. Oh god. Facing Sausage Party to a good shit plot, beautiful animation, and you lost to hot dogs. Having sex. Bro. Box Troll had a man that was obsessed with cheese, but is allergic to it, and exploded from eating cheese. Art. Creativity. Can't go wrong. Damn, Wonder Review will eat the cute grilled cheese. Oh god. But what about Flush Away with the Rats? I haven't watched that, but I did saw it. But I wasn't interested, unfortunately. I did watch the Chicken Run? Is that correct? Chicken Run? It's basically chickens living in prison. Or, a chicken farm, which is chicken prison. And they're trying to attempt trying and attempting to escape. That one was good. It was, really a thing for kids, but it was real good. I loved it. Being disgusted as a kid. Well, should we? Yeah, I think I didn't like that. I didn't like rats. Nor toilets. Maybe it's because of the slugs and frogs. Yeah, I guess the concept of it is what turns it away. It's a huge turn off. And toilets? Nah, fam. I'm good. Chicken Run is so good. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Chicken Run. There's also the Were Rabbit one. What was that? I'm remembering Gromit. But what was the other one? I couldn't remember the title, unfortunately. Fuck. Wallace and Gromit, I think. And that was also good. It's one of the classics. Classics of the stop motion movies. They're not so super thought provoking when it comes to plot, but they're really fucking enjoyable. But Coraline was super like plot heavy, right? Especially when it's about its writing and what else? And its foreshadowing, right? I think that's why people tend to appreciate it more when they grew up and saw it again. And that's what I like about or the experience that I like the most, which after watching and watching, the more you watch it, the more you appreciate it. That's what I like, because the first viewing of it, first time watching it, is like the experience of it, right? And then watching it again is like appreciating it. The second watch is the part where you appreciate it. They're gonna bring back a sequel, but I don't trust them this day. I don't trust anyone with sequels, period. But I have not heard of that news. What the hell? Wallace and Gromit, yes. Another cheese lover. What? No way. Chicken Run? I have not heard of that. Getting a sequel? That is so. But who would watch it? That's confusing. I mean, they're probably gonna appeal to the OG fans of it, but usually sequels are like a walking red flag already for dedicated fans. Like they just know the horrors that are gonna go down. It's usually a coin flip at this point when making a sequel. It's either super good or no. But usually no. It's never gonna be good. Called The Great Hatching, I think. Whoa. I do not trust this state of things here to be good. Yeah. Seagulls are just a hit or miss. It's unfortunate. And sequels tend to be like, I don't know, sequels just gives off this vibe of being a filler. Am I the only one? Like, looking back to Disney stuff, right? Their Disney classics and their sequels surprisingly have sequels. They just tend to feel like fillers and isn't well thought of compared to the first one, which why it tends to feel lackluster. And at that point it was just like, yeah, sequels are just a walking red flag. A Netflix sequel. Oh god. Yeah, Netflix is buying everything. Getting everything on their hands. Netflix is doing everything to the point that, yeah, it's the best of both evils. They release something really good or really bad. And you can't even tell if they're doing doing a good job at treating the studios right. But who knows? It just this stuff is, never surprising when it comes to publishing publishing networks. Treatment is never like the good shit that you'll see, especially in an anime. You can say like we're helping out this studio, yada yada yada, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna change that much. People are still, or people at the animation industry, especially on anime, is still, doesn't pay that well. But again, it's one of those hit or miss kind of thing. It's called Dawn of the Nugget. What? It's like, what is this, McDonald's? Ah, bruh. Truly a bra moment. Return of Jafar is the only Disney animation sequel I can remember. Oof. Oh, he died. Oh, oof. Rest in peace. The the one the one sequel I can remember is the Cinderella one. Because it got the Prince Charming memes. That's why I was able to know it. Oh, and like I also went through like I also get to watch stuff on YouTube about, you know, Barbie movies. And it's just fucking hilarious. Oh, it was so great. I remember watching most of those movies, but I don't remember a single thing. I just don't remember a single thing. What the hell? And I don't know how I got into it. But yeah, it was so funny. All Barbie movies just looks terrible. Like back if you're a kid and you watch like a 3D movie, 3D animated movie, in your eyes it looks realistic and it looks so good. But once you grow up and saw it again, it looks terrible. I was I mean I get that impression a lot, but and it's really normal because, 3D back then was not at its, peak, and it's still pretty much, something that is discovering and being experimented on. But my god, I did not remember it this way, being so terrible. Okay, let me just finish this one off. This one arm off. Like Toy Story? Yes. Toy Story and Incredibles. Incredibles, not so much. But you do feel like some parts of The Incredibles is like, it feels like it's not rendered. Like, it looks flat. But Toy Story, yeah, it's one of the most. Like, I think Toy Story was one of the first. You guys saw the dog, the design of the dog. It was terrible. And thank God they did not try to attempt to animate the humans. Because, good God, what could have we witnessed back then? But I understand why they don't want to animate humans. Humans are just so fucking hard to animate and draw in general. And putting it on 3D, bro. It's like PTSD. Has their own version of the ugly baby. Yeah, basically. Funny how Violet Sayer almost killed the Incredibles movie. Yeah, rendering it is just a nightmare back then. But it is incredible, pun intended, on how they were, able to get through that horror back then. And 3D animation is not cheap. Like, with just the equipment, you can literally buy a house. Especially today when all the graphics card getting fucked to the market. I mean, if you're like an individual, I don't think gear would matter that much, especially when starting out. But if when you're finally getting into it, gear does matter. At some point, it's more of a convenience thing than, a quality thing. Because if you have better equipment, of course, yeah, it's gonna be, the process of it will be much faster and much more desirable. Lightyear is going to look weird because he looks so different to the usual Buzz. True. It's gonna be one of those 3D animated movie that looks like something out of a video game. That's what the vibe gives to me. I feel like it's going to be like some sort of Star Wars vibes. They also make a Star Wars reference, if I'm not mistaken, in some of the movies back then of Toy Story. I'm not sure which sequel was that. I just realized the character you're drawing looks like a hollow from Bleach. Oh, that reminds me. Ichigo's hollow form, not the usual one, but I think it looks more of a skull version. I think that was a version that he was fighting Aizen, the big boss, the big baddie. And that hollow form was so fucking cool. I remember loving Bleach mainly because of that. I got into Bleach mainly because of that. But I unfortunately wasn't able to put Bleach into something I'm completely fond of. But as one of the things I witnessed that looks cool, yeah, it's one of those. Bleach is just built different. I really put Bleach on a different category compared to the big shonens out there that it is usually competing against, like Naruto, One Piece. I usually view Bleach different from those, or in a different category. It just really just feel much more mature. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still a shonen. And I always use Bleach as an example, right? People tend to use Bleach as an example for how Naruto writes off, female characters on Naruto. So shit. Like, I just realized that when growing up. I'm just like, oh yeah, every female character here on Naruto was like nothing. I'm like, bro, it's either a healer or something else. I think there was one character at least, one female character at least, that was like, was able to be useful, I guess, or at least plot heavy, plot significant. But I was like, it's still not as significant. I do like Tsunade, but she was like, what, written off to oblivion by the end? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's one of the shitty aspect of Naruto. But I get it. It's like, oh, but shonen is catered more to boys and all that stuff. Bro, that's not the point. If it looks cool, it looks cool. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to write shitty characters. At least make them look cool. But yeah, I mean, Naruto was like filler to the shit, so that's why I always just don't take that seriously. Naruto, I don't take it seriously. Not my taste, basically, not my cup of tea. I actually thought the light year drill was a joke and fan made. I was also in the same boat as you are. Because of the mismatch of it's just a mashup of epic trailers long ago, something like that. Typical trailer stuff. I wish they would just make the trailers more creative. Like, we heard this thousands of times. Can you make the trailer more creative, please? I don't think Ichigo ever uses hollow form against Aizen. Really? It was a final episode. I'm not sure. Final episode of that arc? I'm not sure actually. It was the time he finally got back and finally gonna phase up Aizen. I'm not sure what version of Aizen was that. I'm pretty sure he was like already like in his form where he's like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. I finally have all the power. Yada yada. And all that. But I don't know. I have a flimsy memory of it. It was, if I'm gonna describe its looks, it's a bunch of skulls basically. Not his usual form where it's like there's a red markings on the face. It's not that version. It's another version of his hollow form. I'm not even sure if that's it's how you call it. Man, I really need to catch up to the stuff I watch right then, because memory of it is just gone forever. Best female character in Naruto is obviously Tenten. Wait, what? Yeah, but they don't feel like they're relevant at all. Like, the spotlight is never theirs, basically. And again, it's Naruto Shippuden. But at the same time, it's just a lot of the characters are just wasted on Naruto. And that sucks because I usually am the type of person who likes the side characters more. I don't give a shit about the main character. I just want the side characters. I literally dead ass just liked Kakashi more. I'm gonna fix this blade. I guess I'm taking way too many tries to this. Hollow Ichigo was a menace. Whoa. Hollow Ichigo versus Okura? It's actually the last time we've seen Hollow Ichigo. Really? Man, my memory is just like, oof. Oh, you mean the black hair Ichigo? Oh, that was. Oh, fuck. I switched it wrong. I got it mixed up. I think it was Okura. Man, I even forgot how he's pronounced. Okura. Perfect timing since the Bleach anime is returning this year. Finally. Man, it got so much trouble. The hiatus and all that stuff. It even got to the point that it feels like Bleach was dead or something. Mainly because of the anime is not airing anymore. I don't think so. The fanbase is still dedicated overall. And just because Bleach is just one of those good shonens. One of the big boys. Big boys shonen. That you just can't go wrong with when you watch it. So yeah, I got mixed up with the hollow form. I forgot he transformed into the black hair version of him instead when he was facing Einstein. I forgot about that one. Fuck. But yeah. Remember when Neji or Lee was important in Naruto? Man, they just keep wasting characters. I don't know why. I remember that time I stopped following the franchise after Jiraiya died. I'm just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, his story and arc was beautiful. Regardless. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay. I lost interest after that for some reason. I do like the pain arc, I guess. That's not what it's called, but I call it that one. I like the start of it when it was just facing Jiraiya. But once it gets to, invading Konoha, I lost interest on it. Oh, I mean, I lost interest when the moment, after Naruto, gains back control of his shit after losing his hand for his girl getting beat the shit out of. But after that sequence where he defeats him, does he defeat him? And trying to find the body, or where he's controlling the mind controller of all this. That sequence got me confused. I was pretty young back then, by the way. That's why I can't remember shit. Final Getsuga Daijou was sick. It's L after he died. I mean, he kind of resembles L. Let's be honest. The dead eyes. The dead eyes. And full blast face in the face. Jiraiya never actually won a fight in the entirety of Naruto. Fuck, man. Bro, he failed at his love life and can't even win a fight. Holy fuck. My poor boy. I actually like Jiraiya's goofiness. That's unfortunate. But after that, I lost interest. After Pain's arc. After that, I just lost interest in Naruto. I mean, that usually happens to me when I watch shonen. You know, I like the sequence, the fighting, the animation, and all that stuff. And after a few minutes, or a few episodes, or it stopped airing, I'm just like, this anime's done. That's it. I'm not gonna watch it ever again. And I don't know why I'm like that. I'm just really not that interested on shonen. I guess I just like moments of it. Never really the whole thing. I'm just burp. All of his fights before Pain is always interrupted or someone else beating the enemy for him. Yeah, that's true. Or run away from him. Yeah, never really wins a fight now. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't really think I watched him fight that often. Or it's usually like preparing for a fight, summoning jutsu, etc., etc. But nothing really happens. Amaterasu. That's a fire, right? The black fire. Amaterasu jutsu. Has never killed anyone either. Yeah, I just know the Amaterasu is just destroys the surroundings and is just there, you know, being fire. Not really that much happening on the scene or with the characters. The scene is wrecked, but the characters is just there. They're probably burned or something, but never really get to kill. Ultimate flames can never eternally make someone remember. I mean, feeling the, you know, burning sensation is much more worse than dying, I guess. Or instantly dying. That's the worst part of burning alive. I used to find that technique so cool. Amaterasu. I used to find that super fucking cool. Like, the flames are just... I'm not like other flames. I'm cooler as shit. Itachi was 12 when he killed the entire... Yeah. Yeah, I thought he would be older. Like, he looks like 16 or 15, right? Somewhere around that. 12 is... He looks too old for a 12-year-old. Is it just me? Or his puberty is just... It hits earlier. Like us females. Puberty is weird. Especially when you're planning to kill your entire clan, I guess. I never get to understand the whole story, you know. Why he needed to kill his clan. I mean... So... People said or hired you to kill your clan. And then what? So you could what? What's next, basically? To awaken something? I think it's a way to awaken their Sharingan, right? The power of emo activates the power of the Sharingan. apparently. Is that why every Uchiha is an emo? It's an e-boy? They're an e-boy. They must be an e-boy in order to gain power of the Sharingan. Is that is that the is that how the power spike goes? But yeah, I never understand that sequence. I probably just had an oversight or something, or couldn't remember why he killed him. But yeah, because compared to Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm gonna understand 100% understand Maki killing her whole clan. I'm like, yeah, you go queen, wipe this shit out, clean this shit up, ate that shit. The short version is that the coup would establish a civil war in the village. They had an alternative to stop, but Danzo. Yeah, I remember Danzo again. Oh fuck. I hate that guy. I don't know why, but he's just annoying. He's just so annoying for some reason. And seeing Sasuke beat the shit out of Danzo gave me weird feelings. Because I didn't like Sasuke also. Okay, ow. I'm just. Oh god. I definitely stretched that wrong. Just took a quick drink in a bathroom break and tried to at least stretch out, but oh god. Yeah, I'm so not used to with a mic in front of my face. I couldn't sit properly, I guess. But I'm not sitting that way too different than my usual. Just don't know why. I'm feeling a bit. Or is it because I'm leaning to the side? It's not why. Oh shit. I'm gonna stretch again later. Anyway, where was I? Where were we? Oh yeah, Zabuza. Zabuza and Danzo. I was planning to make a fan art of Zabuza. I actually like this design. I used to find it weird back then. I'm like, what's with the cow pattern here? What's going on? I used to find it weird, but now I find it awesome. I low-key making him look more chunky. Anyways, I'm back. I'm trying to finish this up. Zabuza was one of the best designs. Yep. Definitely. At first it was pain. Then I usually considered one of the best. I mean that's probably because I have never seen an anime character, I think, with piercings. So it was weird. Oh shit. I think it's one of the first I've seen with piercings. Maybe that's why I find him so interesting. But then when I look back, yeah, Zabuza was actually one of the most well designed on the series. Now that I look back. Man, Naruto back then when it was just, starting off and they were just kids, I feel like the power level is so much more, sensible. It makes sense. But as the show progresses, everything is getting more and more powerful and stronger, to the point that it became one of the things that doesn't make sense anymore. Like, it's gonna go to the big giant entities fighting, and it did go there. The Legend of Korra's, I think that was season 2, book 2, where she just turned into a big giant lady to fight a big giant guy. That was the thing that I feel like happened when the last few episodes or arcs on Naruto. Everything is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point that it doesn't even make sense. I mean, it probably does if I follow the series much more better. But overall, if it's out of context, it's just funny. But that's the thing about shonens anyway. Everything is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Everything is getting much more powerful and all that. As the show progresses. I low-key overdoing this sketch, but who knows. The character looks like a nightmare to draw and animate. Yeah, really detailed stuff is a nightmare, always. But this is done. I'll just add the color palette here and probably some text here. But overall, this is done. Let me just put some numbers on it. It's on the right size. B, C, D. There we go. The Legend of Korra is terrible, but learning from the problems in the production, yeah, I can see why the writing is terrible. Yeah, the stress coming from the company or the producers or executives and the pressure they're putting on to the creators. Yeah, it makes sense why they're losing themselves. Anyway, now I'm gonna go in betweening. That's right, people. It's already 3 o'clock and I have not done much. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna be a long day. I hate in betweening with onion skin. Let's put this as our light box. But there's some parts that I like about Legend of Korra, mainly because of their villains, not the second season one. I like their villains a lot. Red Lotus, I like them. Kuvira, yeah, I like them. Who was the first villain? I forgot. I think they were twins, right? The guy with the mask, the Equalist, yeah. Yeah, I like those villains. Yeah. Kishimoto is a weird thing where he really likes to draw the toes, which why every character wears sandals for some reason, even in the rain. Because of that, Naruto animators had a lot of trouble animating Kishimoto. And Kishimoto has to apologize for those. Yeah. Feet are like one of the hardest parts to draw of the human body, in my opinion. Like, people are saying hands are so hard, oh my god. Yeah, but when you learn hands, it's gonna be worth it because they're always there on the character. Unless the designs doesn't doesn't allow it. But feet are one of the most, bare feet is one of the most hardest parts to draw. They're so confusing. Even people like scientists say it's terribly designed because of how many bones it has. Season 3 was the best season, of course. Yeah, it was its peak. Mon is pretty cool. Yeah. But it went downhill from there. Season 2 was just a wreck. Like, it wrecked itself. Unfortunate. Anyways, we're now gonna animate. Not really animating, but it's more in betweening and trying to polish this, but because I think I streamed the process for this. I was polishing the keyframes, I think. Not sure. But yeah. I mean, that's why also Steven Universe also became a wreck. Because of the productions. It just... There was so many conflict on the production. But at the same time, it's... Is it an excuse for the terrible quality? Not sure. I think that's pretty debatable. Because I think, in my opinion, there's some people that should at least have some sense of responsibility to, to the production. Instead of putting it all the blame on the executives. My back is aching. Season 4 was fine until the giant robot came in. Man, I'm telling you, where are these giant robots, spirits coming out of nowhere? It's season 2 all over again. Stop it with the giant shit. Dev Div, let's go! My bros, homies, welcome. To work on this gosh darn animation. I'm finally on it, bro. It's just in betweening is hell. You're right, especially when it goes into High Guardians fights. Oh my god, that show. Holy shit. You can literally see the animator's notes. It was a wreck. It was like if you put a bunch of interns to create a show. Oh my god. What a wreck. Oh, I'm supposed to make it look like she's opening her eyes. Just for context, this is my bros at Dead Divisions. I'm basically animating their character, which is a MILF. Let's fucking go. And you guys should check them out. I'm making a manga based off Australia. And I think they're the first. Assess proof the scars. Man, this is gonna be super boring. This is the problem with in betweening. I hate how super boring it is. Like, just the process and the thought of in betweening is like a horror on its own. I mean, it's worth it because it makes the animation smoother, but at the same time, bro, it's so time consuming. Oh, her boobs. Okay, there we go. Is that the white hair character that killed a lot of shonen characters? Yes. The one and only. The first and the worst. Let's go. Okay. I'll probably hear a lot of groaning from me. But please bear in mind, it's my coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. It's natural when animating. Is that too small? I love drawing creepy faces. I've been actually wondering if I should try out some, try to explore some art styles thematically. Just something to expand my horizon. But again, I'm so constrained with time, I cannot even try out new fun stuff to try. But that would be fucking awesome though. Horror stuff is just cool. And I'm not even very good in handling horror stuff. But I just like it. The art, the theme. It scares the shit out of me, but it's so cool. I love it. The vibe is just right. Yeah, the head is too small, fuck. Would you outsource in between? I mean, usually it's done by another, department, which are the in-betweeners. But it depends. It's just boring. It's one of the parts that I'm always bored about. And usually, in betweening the job is usually given to those who are starting out in animation. Most of the time. Usually. It's usually given for the beginners who are starting out in animation. But as of lately, I'm not sure. And it's usually just done by the animator themselves anyways. So yeah, again, not sure. I don't even think I'll be an animator, or I'll choose to be an animator. Once I get into the industry, I'll probably just do some managing things. I would rather choose that instead of animating, because I know for a fact that this is terror. Is a fucking feat on its own. It's a whole new layer of hell. But the process is torture. But once you see the result, you tend to forget about it. It really is an addiction. But I think the only section that I enjoy for now on animating is probably animating some effects, because I can just go crazy with it. There's no rules, usually, no rules, but that's what makes it fun. It's so chaotic. That's why I like it. Spikes, I need to keep in track. I'll probably add the flames later when it's all done. I'm gonna try to show you guys the process or the result so far. Cosmic horror is something that interests me the most. Yeah, cosmic horror, you could just go off there. Anything is possible on cosmic horror. MK, blood and guts. Now that you mentioned guts, I remember Berserk. I have not read that Berserk. I should really get into it, but it's so fucked up at the same time. Will I able to handle it? Oh boy, how the fuck do I in between this? Hands here? Oh, it's an arm. We're gonna kill it. Then the fist is finally going up. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting somewhere. It looks so good. Sam, that's Sam! Sam, welcome. Oh boy, I hope you have the stomach to handle Berserk. Probably not. There's so many trigger warnings on Berserk. Maybe that's why I thought to myself that, yeah, maybe don't read it, you know? And I'll definitely not gonna watch the anime. They made it 3D, right? It's one of the worst. I'm just like, oh yeah, people are gonna put this into a blaze. And it's so funny. Like, I just watched one scene of that anime, the 3D one, And I'm just like, yeah, it could have made something like Dark Souls, right? Something like that would have been so cool. Like, imagine an anime with Dark Soul graphics. Dark Souls graphics. Holy shit. Is it even an anime? Like, that would be fucking wild. But no, they didn't. It was a generic 3D animation that was considered the worst of that year. Especially the Lost Children. Oh shit. Because there's a lot of arcs. Oh god. I can't even say it because Twitch might ban me to the Shadow Realm. There's just a lot of trigger warnings on Berserk. Legion, bro, I sent you a DM. Guess you don't see this. Oh, I'm not answering my DMs at the moment. Fuck. Sorry. I'm very sorry. I'll probably check it out later and get back to you. American WBI. Y'all are out for blood for each other. I'm watching Weathering with you at the moment. Holy shit. I just have a side note, legit. Can I interview right now to drop motherfucker? Milf killing Sam. I mean, my commissions are closed, guys. Come on. Maybe next time. Do not watch Berserk 2016. I am definitely not going to. My god. It is the biggest failure of trying to combine 2D and 3D. I can't even notice the 2D aspects of it. It's just so terrible. I know Berserk is like terrible, has terrible subjects and themes. I didn't mean it like this. Like, they made the animation so bad. It was such a great franchise on its own because it's really dark, and they still managed to fuck it up. It's unfortunate. I wonder if, oh yeah, I think a director from Castlevania made a scene on Castlevania anime, right, where it just screams Berserk theme. Like, you just feel like this was Berserk supposed to be. I think it was one scene where a female vampire who's really buff, and it's on an armor. She's on an armor and then just going wild and killing all the characters. I think they were farmers. I think that's what she was fighting. And that scene just screams Berserk. Like, what a power move. He just basically said, I could have made a better Berserk. Like, yeah. All he needed is a better director or something. Or better production team. It could have been great, but no. I can't have nice things, I guess. And Castlevania anime was really good. I heavily recommend it. Now I remember the clanking of Berserk. Their sound design, man. Why does this Dragon Slayer sound like a pan hitting a hammer? Oh god. Even the sound design is terrible. This is terrible in all aspects. It was a train wreck. I think it was rushed, right? Like, they couldn't decide on how it would look overall, and they ran out of time for they ran out of time basically of thinking, and had they didn't have anything done, so they have to rush it and just went with 3D instead. It was unfortunate. That's like reminds me of Studio Ghibli for some reason. Because when they were, you know, trying to find some thoughts on what will their production would look like or how would their movie would look like it already, from seeing the behind the scenes of it, it already looks like it took a lot of time and a lot of, trial and error, trying to see which one works, which design doesn't work, and all that jazz. And seeing Berserk literally failing and losing all of its time mainly because of, trying to think how it's gonna look is just tragic and funny. The Lost Children is pretty terrifying to the point where Berserk 2016 skip it completely. Yeah. How do you even greenlit Berserk anime? Because that would be probably censored to oblivion. Like, who would even try to publish an Aaron? But hey, Netflix. Remember Netflix publishing cuties? Yeah, that was something. Yeah, it was rush. Yeah, they didn't have the time anymore, basically. That's not surprising. But at the same time, why would you pick 3D? Like, I get it, the design of the characters, you don't have to draw it all over and over again. But from what I know, you still need the principles of animation on 3D. Which, it doesn't really remove a significant amount of time to make. Like, people say that, oh, 2D animation just takes up much more time to make. No, it doesn't. Both need the time and work. Regardless, at the end of the day. Okay, you guys hear the music? We don't speak of cuties. The forbidden movie. Like, fucking hell. How did they even publish that? It was... I feel like, probably someone there is like, enjoys that. And that is just so fucked up, honestly. But again, it's not surprising. People in power, yada yada yada, and all that stuff. Okay. I should make her look angrier. Oh, okay. Animating hair is just a nightmare. Because you really need to get, keeping track on each strand. I think this part is like where it's better to use 3D. I mean, it's not impossible to animate in 2D, but at the same time, it's just like, oh god, keeping in track of multiple strands of hair is like a nightmare. It's like animating a cape, but a fuck ton more than just one cape. I'm having stiff neck. I think I need to stretch out again. Okay, hold up. Berserk's design, I heard, was very hard to animate. In the old Berserk anime in the 90s, the animation team had a lot of nightmares animating it. I mean, with the technology now, it should be a little better, but of course it'll still be a nightmare to animate. Like, there's the one design on JoJo, I think, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where the character has fishnets looking design. And yeah, that's definitely a nightmare again for the animators. The movie director for Cuties is more of an idiot. The more I look into her background, she's a she? What? She was clueless that she made Cuties in the... Oh, fuck. Bro. Oh. And no one in the team reminded her of that. Like, are you just filled with yes men's on the production team? I guess she got lost on the process, but at the same time, take a moment to zoom out. Like this one, take a moment to zoom out, realize what you're doing, and go, oh. All you can do is go, oh. Oh shit. But hey, I guess, if there's anyone that enjoys it, I guess they would finally get to know who it is. But at the same time, it was so terrible. Oh fuck. And pretty much dangerous for those who are casted on it. Oh, I need an in between here. But that's... I'll just trace that. I guess the Southern Woman's... Let's see how she's looking. Oh! A layer is not visible. Hold up. I'll fix the effects later. For now... I'll probably add more effects by the end with, you know, some smoke or air for impact with some tests. For now, let's just chill. probably only shift or change a few sections here. So it really looks like it's slow-mo. That MILF character reminds me a lot of my own character that you drew for me. Oh yeah, it does reminds me of the one OC that you requested. Oh, this one has a lot of line variety. This is the hard part when animating slow-mos or anything in slow in general. It takes up a lot in between. And they're not really changing or moving that much. So it tends to feel like you're drawing the same thing. Let's just adjust that a bit. So it will look like it's slightly moved. How do you turn the screen like that in Clip Studio? I use a rotate tool. Yes. This is basically a movement tool. This is what you get for hand for dragging the canvas, and this is what you use to rotate. I used to be so frustrated about these tools when starting out, but it really just takes some practice and a lot of using it in order to, get the hang of it. And I use it a lot. I am low-key feeling sleepy. See, it's slightly moving. It's a lot of going back and forth. See, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And fix here. This is this one. Oh shit. I should really go for the body first instead of the effects, but I'm gonna do whatever I want then. I don't feel like doing. Oh shit, it goes back. Have you seen Samurai Jack? Yes. It's one of the OG cartoons that you used to watch back then as a kid. I did saw the new seasons. New season. I think that was only one season. It felt kind of rushed, not gonna lie. Like everything is escalating a lot, especially in the end. Uh, oh, I actually like that. I actually like how that goes. Is this the impact frame? Okay. Chuki, hello. Welcome to the stream. The first half of the final season was paced perfectly, but the ending was sadly rushed. Yeah, it was escalating way too fast. Everything is escalating all of a sudden. Like, holy shit, here's a coup. Oh my god, they're fighting. Oh my god, what the fuck? Hey yo, what the fuck? And some of the scenes are like illogical, right? Like, if Aku is dead, how were you guys were able to orchestrate a marriage? Anyways, I'm getting loose. I'm getting lost from these in betweens. Blank frame there. And then go back to lasso. And folks, Toga and Lalud Sangre, nah. We're talking about Samurai Jack. The final season? I'm really a big fan of Yendi's work. He's a master of silence, storytelling, and character building. Oh, did you watch Primal? That's one of the best I've seen so far. It's really good. Really brutal too. And I love it. I think it was also awarded or nominated at least. And it really deadass has no words on it. It's all you need to see. which is why I'm surprised that he worked on Hotel Transylvania. I mean, you can see it on like the movements and stuff. You can see how cartoony and fluid the movements are, which really is something I've seen a lot from Gennady. But yeah, witnessing witnessing it is so out of what he's done, right? It's not his typical stuff. Like, what he usually does is really plot heavy, right? And seeing Hotel Transylvania is just weird. I mean, the first one wasn't so bad. It was fine on my take of it. But I'm not gonna lie, it was generic. Or mid-tier, at least. It was pretty mid. This red is too blinding, hold up. But yeah, the first one was alright. The sequels, yeah, you're just pumping out money at this point. I mean, it's for kids, but okay, I guess. Go up, pop up, you kids. And I think this was the time when Sony was... That was Sony, right? Sony was still doing their... anything to cash grab anything. It was that time. You know, before all of that good old Spider-Verse. They were doing that stuff. Thank God, they were raising money and all that stuff in order to create more opportunities. But at the same time, sheesh. I wouldn't be surprised that he worked on those movies just to fund Primal, since the timing is no coincidence. That actually makes sense. Yeah, I mean, pretty much that franchise was, you know, looking some funds for it. I was sad that his Popeye movie was cancelled for the Emoji Movie. Yes, oh my god, I remember that one. That was painful. That was really painful. But what you gotta do? What do you have to do when the executives doesn't want that shit? I mean, I think people have mixed feelings about Popeye being rebooted as, you know, something 3D, but at the same time, seeing how it is replaced by the Emoji Movie is like, yeah, we'd rather want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a bad trade. Man, I actually watched the trailer of that teaser. I think it was a teaser, and I actually liked it. Like, it was very warm feeling, I guess. Like, it's very nostalgic on the feeling that I had. Probably just nostalgia. And seeing how getting cancelled by that, yeah, I lost hope. Thanks a lot. Hotel Transylvania is indeed Sony, along with the Emoji Movie. Yeah, it was a phase by Sony where they just pumping out this generic stuff in order to like gain money or funds. I love your emoji when I go on the date. What the fuck? I do be like that. It was a silly movie. It's just a silly movie. is this layer? 6? Oh, there was supposed to be none. Okay. I mean, the preview is probably looking shit right now. Because I put it in low quality, I think. Oh god, it's 4 o'clock. I need to end the stream. How many hours? Yeah, it's almost 3 hours. Should do this one first. How many in between slots? Let's count. How much more we need to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not gonna in between this. Okay. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Should be down. $15, 16, 17, probably 18. So almost 20 in between stuff. Also, we need to polish the effects. And those are for later. That's the final phase. Anyway, let's just go chat. How far are you in the Jujutsu Kaisen manga? There's a power that's weird and interesting since it is kinda animation based or something. Is it Maki's technique? You know, the frame rate thingy? I think Maki was facing a guy that manipulates. I don't think it's manipulates. Or he has something to do with the frame rates. And I think that guy was cocky or something. And Maki just I don't know, did one move and he's like fucked. that's how far I am. How far I am? I think that we're all together. Maki, the main character guy. I just care about Maki. I don't care about anything else, anyone else. But yeah. And I think that who was that woman? I think she was the woman from the very beginning who, checked her bank account. Yeah, that's how far I am. I don't keep up with shonen again. It's not my it's not my thing. But anyways, I'm gonna finish the stream there. Guys. Thank you so much for coming by. I just did some sketches and some in betweens today, but thank you so much for coming and chatting along with me. I'm not sure when I'll be streaming again, but if you guys also have any suggestions on or any topics that you guys want me to deal with, let me know. Maybe one day I'll discuss it and stream about it. Again, thank you again, guys. That's bye bye for now. Good night, good morning, and good day.